Hey again, everyone. Great to see you out there on the day after the final regular season games in college football. And this is typically Black Sunday for college football coaches. And we're starting to see that even in this pandemic year in which we thought many of them would be protected. Vanderbilt and South Carolina started it, and now we see it continue at Illinois and Auburn. MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football. We invite you in this in response to late breaking stories across the nation. I've got my Florida State guys ready to come on in to talk about McKenzie Milton going to Florida State. He has just announced his transfer. I got to tell you, this is my deal today, is that I couldn't sleep last night. Just could not sleep. All sorts of stuff going on. Just couldn't sleep all night. And then so I caught a few hours here on an NFL Sunday, which is not like me, but the NFL has lost its allure to a certain extent, still like the NFL, but I don't have to be glued to it all the time like I used to. Used to love just watching the NFL and couldn't bear to miss the NFL. But man, I just had work to do this morning and knocked it out, and then bam, just crashed for like 3 hours. And then I come to, and wow, the college football universe is crashing down around us. So we need to address this as much as possible. Now I'm going to be back on late tonight, have some personal affairs and matters to deal with tonight. Going to have some fine family time. So we cannot go on and on and on tonight. But at midnight, I'll be back to talk Gus Malzahn out at Auburn, Lovie Smith out at Illinois. Of course, the Big Ten and the Pac-12 have reworked their schedules and announced those schedule matchups starting on Friday. So that will be quite interesting. We'll go through that, and then we'll address more the McKenzie Milton situation here at Florida State, transferring to FSU. I unfortunately need to take care of a few things here, but we'll wait till our guys get online, and then I will certainly take care of that. Let me dive in the live chat and get your responses. We certainly addressed the McKenzie Milton possibilities of going to Florida State during our live show last week. We had Jason Parker here, James Coleman, myself, and Logan Robinson to, of course, give our input on this. I was all for it, am all for it. This cannot be a bad move in any such way. Yes, it takes away a scholarship. Yes, it takes away a spot from somebody else. But look at the quarterback room at Florida State. It's in its worst condition since the mid-'70s, at the very least. It's awful. It is just not Florida State standard. Jordan Travis is not Florida State standard. The backups are not Florida State standard. McKenzie Milton is a welcome fit to this program. There's no question about that. The worst that can happen is that he gets injured. We don't want to see that. None of us want that. Even if you root against Florida State, you should not want that. We want guys to stay healthy, especially a guy with his class, integrity, character. He has shown us nothing but first-rate performance and first-rate conduct off the field. He will be a leader on this team. So even if he doesn't take a snap, even if he can't get on the field for whatever reason, and that would be physically not being able to get on the field, because otherwise he walks in and he's the best quarterback. So if he is 80 to 90% healthy and what he was before, then he's the best quarterback Florida State has, and the best one since DeAndre Francois was playing at his very, very, very best. So he will be the starting quarterback if he's McKenzie Milton or anything close to it. And even if he can't, it's still a plus for the program, because he can step in. He can step in immediately and play. If he can't play, he provides leadership integrity for a program and for a team and a roster and a locker room that is solely hurting for some character, some gamesmanship, some drive, some leadership, a little heart, little soul, little smarts in that quarterback room as well. Let me get to your comments and your questions. And again, we can talk about whatever you want. You can call in if you'd like, 860-325-3687. I'll get the number posted here. But we're going to, when we get our Florida State guys on, we're going to focus on the Florida State situation coming off the enormous, huge win, program-changing win over Duke yesterday, of course. And McKenzie Milton coming in. Again, want to remind everybody that's coming in, I'll be back at midnight I'll be back at midnight. We're going to address the Big Ten schedule, the Pac-12 schedule, Gus Malzahn, Lovie Smith, McKenzie, Milton, and more. Who knows what else is going to happen in college football today. Ronan, great to see you. Hope the best for Milton. Great to see him coming back from such a gruesome injury, although I see hope he loses every game at FSU. Perfect. That is the response I love to see out of a passionate college football fan. I want to see this guy come back. He's a tremendous player. He's good for the game. He does all the right things. He's playing for my rival. Hope he comes back, plays. Want to see him lose, though. Want to see him lose the games. Go ahead and play. McKenzie, I'm pulling for you. I want you to be healthy, but I'm going to root against you every game. Luke Walker, if the FSU guys are here, you're welcome for the free material. Yes. Florida State's got it all over Miami now from the standpoint of you take any angle. When you're as bad as Florida State, you take any angle you can to trash talk your rival, and this would be it, of course, concerning the North Carolina angle to all this. And Florida State got that top 5 win earlier this season. And of course, Miami got completely trucked. Oh my goodness, that was awful. No game day coming. Logan Robinson on his way. Disney Tiger Jordan Bowman. Disney Tiger Jordan Bowman. Saw this coming months ago. Okay, good. Anytime you got something for me, Jordan, you can let me know. If you see things coming months away, you can always let me know. Make me look smart. Rose Null-Blooded. Feeling good. It's nice to see some Florida State fans that can feel good about their program a little bit today. It's been so awful, so bad for so many years now. It seems like forever, but it's been 3 years, and especially this season, that they can feel good about their football team right now. For this week, they won a game. They picked up a good quarterback if he's healthy. Hey, John, I stopped following the NFL years ago. Too much stupid drama long before it got more political, too. Well, you may not want to keep watching college football then, John. It all rolls downhill. David Hess, onward, Notre Dame. Yeah, what a game. 4 o'clock Eastern time coming up on Saturday. Can't wait. Clemson, Notre Dame. John, how healthy is Milton? Is he one hard hit away from being out? That is the question of the day, the question of the hour. Nobody knows that for sure. He's practicing. He has practiced with the team there at UCF. We know that. Luke just feeling good about himself, and you should. You should, Luke. You had to take it and take it and take it just about every day for an entire offseason into this season about how you were going to get just blasted and Miami was going to get payback. So there it is. That's why the live chat exists. 62-26. There it is. North Carolina. Oh, man, that was a butt kick. I did not see it coming. I did not see it coming. I should have picked North Carolina. I should have at least seen that with the superior weapons, the superior quarterback. There's not a huge disparity between Howell and King, but Howell's a better quarterback. That's not how they beat him, though. I didn't see North Carolina as being that incredibly physical. And Miami should have had the incentive. Miami should have had more incentive because they were playing for the Orange Bowl. They were playing at home, and they, of course, lost that gut-wrenching game to North Carolina last year. They should have had the incentive. Cheryl, hey, Mark. I always had respect for Smith at Illinois. I wish him luck as maybe another head coach in the future. Yeah, Lovie Smith has always seemed like a first-rate, first-class individual who has wanted nothing more than to develop the young men into productive citizens and outstanding young men who also has, Lovie Smith took the Chicago Bears to a Super Bowl. That is not easy to do. So he had a successful run with the Bears, also took them to another NFC championship game, went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Didn't work out there, but he wasn't really given a lot of time with Tampa Bay, I believe 2 seasons. Then he comes to Illinois, and Illinois is a difficult place to win. It's become a difficult place to win since sometime in the 90s. Something has happened there at Illinois. Maybe we've got some Illinois fans on board, people that have looked into the program that could give us further insight. But this was a tremendous football program. I'm not talking elite, but I'm talking consistently in the 15 to 25 range in the nation from around 1980 until the early 90s for about 12 or 13 years under the likes of Mike White and Lou Tepper. They were going to significant bowl games, competing for Big Ten championships most of that time, highlighted by the 83 team that went to the Rose Bowl, was 10-1, top 5 in the nation. Got blasted, but we're top 5 in the nation at that point. Excellent quarterback play, of course, throughout that entire time. Jack Trudeau, Jason Verduzco, Jeff George. But since the mid-90s, they had the one flash in 2007, and that was smoke and mirrors. And that team really wasn't that good. Should not have been playing in the Rose Bowl. Not that good, but they were much better. Of course, at least they were competitive that year, went 9-4. But basically, Illinois football has not been the same for the last 25 years. The facilities, the stadium, not up to par to compete elsewhere in the Big Ten. Real Talk came on in. I just came here to say, damn it, Pound's Table. That must be going back to yesterday's Nebraska loss to Minnesota. Minnesota was missing 33 players. 33 players due to positive testing and contact tracing. And yet, Minnesota beat Nebraska. So the woes continue for the Huskers. We'll be doing our Nebraska live show coming up Thursday night at 7 o'clock Eastern time. I have failed to, oh man, I don't think I got this link sent out. So pardon me here for a second. This was really stupid of me. There we go. All right, now we can get our Florida State boys in here, and then I've got a few other things to do. All right. Okay. Sometimes there's an issue being host, producer, everything, technical guy, operational guy, all at the same time. I need to run a ship like that Steve Dace over there at Michigan Podcast, where he's got people doing things for him, because got to be able to talk and know what you're talking about, not worrying about all this other garbage. We'll get there. Alan V, Troll Patrol, Georgia, ranked ahead of Florida. Everything is back to normal. Are you serious? I don't look at those stupid rankings because they make no sense. Maybe I should come up with my own top 25 that actually makes sense. Maybe I should do that. Georgia is ranked ahead of Florida. Is this actually happening? Wow, we'll investigate that. James Coleman on the line. Fifth quarter college football. James.
What's going on, Mark? We doing that lag time thing again? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, cool. What's going on?
We can all hear you. Yeah, we might be lagging a little bit. So, McKenzie Milton to Florida State. Are you feeling good about that? Let's say he's healthy. We got to assume that because we don't know otherwise.
It's a good pickup. If anything, it makes the quarterback room a lot more competitive, and you need that. You need more bodies. You see what happened this year. You've gone through 4 quarterbacks this year. You started off with James Blackman. You started then you went to Jordan Travis. Jordan Travis gets hurt. You go to Tate Rodemaker, obviously his name. Then you go to Chubba Purdy. Chubba Purdy gets hurt again. Back to James Blackman for a play. Then praying that Jordan Travis gets healthy. So I think Milton comes in with a guy who's got a national championship pedigree, but he's also a playmaker. He's got a pretty strong arm, and I think he's, if healthy, he makes you better.
Is there anything to this? Let's say Milton comes in. Let's say he's 75 or 80% of what he was, and then he eventually gets hurt. He gets hurt in the first game, and none of us want to see that, but let's say it happens, and then he's a locker room guy. Is there anything, because he at least proved that he's a good player somewhere else, that he can offer guidance, leadership to that quarterback room, knowledge?
I mean,
That's
I think
not what you
can.
want, obviously, but
If he gets hurt again and it's serious enough, then it would be in his best interest to do that, because now what you're doing is you're preparing yourself for life after football. And a lot of quarterbacks, and really it's very profitable to go into coaching now. So why not go and really imprint yourself with Norvell or some of these guys who probably will potentially get jobs elsewhere that could put in a good word for you. So yeah, that's what you would hope, and that's just part of being a good teammate. But yeah, that's definitely. I pray that's not the reason why he came to Florida State. For at worst, he'll be a great locker room guy. I got news for people. Locker room guys are I don't want to say a myth, but it's cool. Like, I've never been a part of a winning team that had a bad locker room. I've also never been never really been a part of a losing team, but I've never seen a losing team have a good locker room. The minute I see somebody say, man, that was a losing team with a great locker room, I'll truly believe in locker room culture and toxicity and all those things. Winning cures all. What you got to do is get a bunch of winners in. And I'll give McKenzie Milton that. He's a winner. But much like most grad transfers or transfers in general, they're leaving one situation because it's not the best situation for them, or they got beat out, to go to another situation which they wanted to be the like. And most fans, outside of McKenzie Milton, where UCF fans are very grateful, but most fans, typically including Florida State fans, throw their transfers under the bus, bad guys, whatever. But the new guys coming in, they're going to be the ones that are going to just transform your culture. It doesn't work like that. What you need is a bunch of guys that's going to raise the level of competition, so that when you go to practice, your practices are now just as hard or just as intense as you hope the game is. That's how you build a winning culture. That's how you win consistent games. I don't care what anybody says or what anybody wrote. If the practices were hard, Duke wouldn't be a game. A lot of these games they lost would not be games. So just give me a bunch of guys that are going to come in, sharpen each other, and create an environment that produces winners.
so with a guy like McKenzie Milton, so he accomplished things elsewhere, not with Florida State. He did it somewhere else. So guys are going to know that. They know who he is. They know what he's done. So does he have a bit of cred coming into this situation? Obviously, guys want to see it in front of them for them.
Yeah, definitely, because he's accomplished something where other people haven't accomplished anything. This team currently, and FSU fans have to forgive me for my candor and how I say it, but it is what it is. This is the first time we three losing seasons in a row, almost four, but definitely one subpar season and three very underachieving seasons, like that are not the standard. Whereas McKenzie comes in having been a winner his entire time as a starter at UCF, obviously getting an opportunity to play in a big time. Well, he got hurt before he got a chance to play, but he led that team for most of that season, and he's done it with he beat Mike 3 times in 2 years. So the coaching staffs know who he is. The players, with UCF being kind of a little brother to the big three, Miami, Florida State, Florida, they have an idea of who he is. So having him come in and be able to build something can give you a De'Aaron King potentially type energy lit up under you. Now, it depends on how the coaches adapt to his style of play, which is something that has not really gone very well this year.
Now, just to be clear, I don't have any numbers in front of me, but I watched the games. I should be able to remember this. So 2017 was the UCF undefeated season. They beat Auburn. Yep. He completed that season.
Okay.
It was the next year when they lost the Peach Bowl to LSU. He played most of that season, but then it was Dylan Gabriel and Daryl Mack that finished off the game against Joe Burrow and that season. But Milton played most of it. Based on what you've seen out of him, how good do you think he is? You know, people want to reference as to Trevor Lawrence is at the top and then all the way to the bottom. And then, what type is he? A top 10 guy? Is he a top 25 guy? playing at if he's healthy.
In the NCAA or in the ACC?
Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely I think he was a top 25. He was a top 15 guy at UCF. So I would say relatively the same. Like we just have to see. The hardest part is what we're also seeing from a coaching standpoint. When you have to dial it up against power, which is this group of 5 opponents, life is a lot different. And there's no disrespect to the AAC, but the AAC does not play defense across the board. You're going to come into a conference where you have Miami. You're going to play Miami every year. Miami's going to play defense. They may not play it very well every week, but they've got athletes that you've never seen before. They got, or as Tag used to say, they got mutants over there. Notre Dame is going to play next year. Clemson, to quote something that Jeff Sims told my radio partner, Denny Thompson, 6-point quarterback academy, I ain't never seen that before. He's like, they got cats that's just flying around there. I didn't know they made people like that. So you got people that you've never seen before, but I think if you could get more competition in the quarterback room mixed with competent play calling, you could probably see a step in the next direction. Because if nothing else, he gets rid of that ball faster than anybody that we've had. Probably this isn't that. Hear me, faster than James. He ain't James. I'm just saying we haven't had anybody. The quarterbacks after James have been very lacking. But I think him getting rid of the ball helps. You get rid of the ball quick, it helps your offensive line, get your offensive line confidence. I guess a better realization for people who watch football, not rivalries, just watch football, is what makes Kyle Trask a good quarterback isn't necessarily it's the play calling, definitely, but it's his ability to get rid of the ball and make a subpar offensive line look a lot better than what they are consistently, except for obviously last night, which was great.
All right. I guess this can officially be called a Florida State Seminoles live show because Jason Parker's here from NBC6. So we officially can go that route, I believe, because Mr. Perfect's here.
This is an overtime episode. This is a Logan texting me going live stream time. And I went, all right, I'm not doing anything else. So let's do it.
Let's do it. And the guy that initiated it, suggested it's not even here. But hey, we got 102. There he is. We got 102 on the line. So, Jason, go to it in regards to this is a subject that we already talked about last week and anticipated McKenzie Milton coming to FSU. Your thoughts?
It's anticipated. It's expected. I said earlier that there's 3 reasons why it's a bad move. And once again, this is not anything against McKenzie Milton. He's a good quarterback. He has a great arm. I think James hit the nail on the head. He has a great arm. He's a wonderful quarterback as far as getting rid of the ball. He has one leg. This is not the McKenzie Milton. And this is something that Florida State fans need to expect because you're seeing it blowing up on Twitter right now. I know you're seeing it with Logan on his Twitter, and he's seeing it. James, I know you're seeing it from some of the FSU Twitter family. This is not going to be McKenzie Milton of 2017. This is not going to be McKenzie Milton at the start of 2018. This is going to be, for lack of a better term, a one-legged quarterback that we have right now coming in. That offensive line looked decent against Duke. It did look good yesterday. Florida State had a heck of an offensive line, made Jordan Travis, gave him running game, gave Toafili the chance to run the ball, Corbin a chance to run the ball. It's going to be going up against Notre Dame in that first game. He's going to have to play against the Notre Dames, against the Miamis, against some pretty good defenses that are this is a bad move. There's no other way to put it. This is a bad move for a variety of reasons. Number one, it's a one-year lease. Number two, he has one leg. Number three, it pretty much knocks us out of the running for Jake Garcia. I know that Logan doesn't mind that. It knocks us out of the running.
I don't think we were in the running for Jake Garcia anyway.
I think we were in the running. We were in the running. I think he was going to go to Miami the whole time, but I think we were in the running. We were like the one scene in Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance. We had a chance.
Well, which knee is Jordan? Between him and Jordan Travis, we got 2 legs. We got 2 legs in the quarterback room. There's some positivity to take out of this.
Listen, I get it. I understand it. I get where it was coming from. And it's not a shocker. It's not a shocker at all. It was going to happen eventually.
Are you receiving, Jason, medical reports and nobody else is?
Actually, two right here. I've got actually the two right here.
You got something more than us?
This is X-ray kits right here. No,
This is win-win stuff, right?
Mark's going to disagree with whatever I say because that's what Mark does. He disagrees with literally everything I've said for the past.
Well, say something that's correct, and I won't disagree with it. See, that's what happens. Let's not start in on that. I just want to. I just don't see the negative to this. I don't see it.
Because you're a creature of the moment. You're just like the Mike Norvell fan base who thinks that this is the greatest thing because Mike Norvell's going to come in.
I have no perspective on anything, do I? I am certainly, yes, an emotional type.
People think I hate Mike Norvell. Jeez. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt our quarterback room. Our quarterback room is average at best. Even though I like Jordan Travis, I wish they would make Jordan Travis a better thrower of the football. But even if it comes in and it creates competition, it creates something that comes in there, I believe that this won't be the end of the world. If he doesn't start, what do we have? We have 51 dress scholarship players yesterday. Cool, we got 52 players right now. So that's great. So one thing we have, if anybody's listening to this, because I do know this, FSU fan base believes that every tweet that's not positive affects play calling and affects recruits. Mm-hmm. If any recruit is listening to this, one thing we have a surplus of in transfers, we have a surplus and an abundance of scholarships. Please help take some of these off of our hands because we got to get rid. You don't get money. Well, I guess you get money back in your coffer, but it's kind of like the NFL salary cap. You get X amount of dollars to spend. There are no rollover bucks. Like 85 scholarships every year. We need to use all 85 of them.
No, this is a win. There's no silliness about it, Jason. This is a huge win for Florida State, both on the field and in the locker room more than anything. This team needs a winner. They haven't had a quarterback like this that just knows how to win, has the winning culture, as a veteran guy that is going to make a great competition in the quarterback room the next this offseason. It's a great addition. He knows how to throw the ball. He's the smartest quarterback that I think we've had since maybe around football-wise. DeAndre Francois, if you just stayed just football. Francois, Jameis, he just knows how to make plays. He knows how to throw touchdowns. He knows how to get out of the pocket. If homeboy in the NFL right now that should have had his leg amputated is able to still be throwing touchdowns right now against some of the best people to ever play football. Some of the best people to play football professionally, if he's still able to do it, Milton, who had not so severe of an injury as he did, is going to be just fine, I think. He's younger, he can heal faster, and he was cleared to play against USF. That ended up happening because that game was closer, but this is a big get for Florida State. I'm not too sold on Florida State's quarterback room right now. Jordan Travis isn't a thrower. I'm not sold on Purdy right now. I'm not sold whatsoever on Roadmaker. I don't see the problem of letting Purdy have another year, get fully healthy. He's not fully healthy yet. He's having surgeries, I think, every other month so far because they're still trying to figure out what's going on with them. It's a big get for Florida State, and it's not only going to help right now, but recruiting-wise and transfers, it's going to be a fun next couple of months.
Yeah, you're right. You all three.
And Jay Garcia, I would not want Jay Garcia. That's just my thing.
You're right. All three of you just convinced me. Greatest move Florida State has ever made. This is the greatest thing since the birth of Jesus Christ. For fat people, the creation of the McRib. This is the greatest move in the history of Florida State football. Just happened right here.
Jason, I gave my rundown off the top. I kind of threw it by James. I'll give you my checklist. You tell me what's correct and what's not correct.
Go ahead.
McKenzie Milton is what you would call a winner.
Correct.
McKenzie Milton was a top 10 to 15 quarterback in the nation during his 2 seasons at UCF in which he was the starter. He started close to 3 seasons. His final 2 seasons, he was an exceptional quarterback, top 10 to 15 in the nation.
At the time in 2017, 2018, yes.
Yes.
Correct.
He has shown, in addition to just being an excellent quarterback, he's an outstanding guy, first-rate guy to lead a team, lead a locker room, lead a quarterback room, potentially to be the face of the program for at least for a year. That he's an outstanding individual. a football guy that's a leader.
I don't know the man personally, but yes, on the surface, yes, absolutely.
None of us do, but okay.
Right.
So the very worst thing that can happen is that this horrible injury is going to reoccur, and he's just not prepared to play. He will never be the same. That is the very worst thing that can happen. But he is still a positive influence in the quarterback room, can provide his insight, his knowledge, his leadership ability, and bring those guys along. At the very worst,
if we can go back into the time machine and get the McKenzie Milton from 2018. Hell, I'm not even talking about the 2017 USF's Asterisk National Championship. I'm talking about the 2018 McKenzie Milton. If we could get that, absolutely, 100%, it would be great. The notion that what I've said is that I don't think he is anywhere near that same quarterback that he was at UCF in 2017, 2018. I think this notion is he's going to come in and be that quarterback, and that's going to be the problem. When he cannot have, once again, we don't know. He could be just like that quarterback at the time. I think the odds are not in that favor. And what's going to happen, more than likely, is we are going to see a different McKenzie Milton, not as good of a McKenzie Milton, if he is the starting quarterback against Notre Dame, and it's going to start the whole, oh, we made a mistake, we made a mistake, we made a mistake, as opposed to Jake Garcia, who I know Logan gave his reasons why he didn't want Jake Garcia when we talked last Wednesday. But Jake Garcia could give you 3 to 4 years. You get a chance to learn the entire system, come in. Mike Norvell gets a chance to essentially from scratch get him in here, as opposed to a 1-year lease. That's what McKenzie Milton is he is a 1-year lease right now. And it's fine. He has the potential. He has the best arm in the room. Absolutely, 100%. Right now, he is the best arm in the quarterback room. He doesn't have the best 2 legs. And I'm sorry, with all due respect, you're going to be going up against Notre Dame in the opener. You're going to have Miami coming. You're going to have Louisville coming in. You're going to be going to Florida. You're going to be going to Clemson. And right now, we don't know if he has 2 working legs that can get the job done.
So am I getting this straight that you think that his signing is going to impact recruiting? That's what you're concerned about? Because otherwise, even if he gets knocked out the first play of the game, he's still a positive impact on that quarterback room.
I think that what his coming in does is, we've talked about this before with recruiting. Recruits are very fickle. And James hit the nail on the head. Was Jake Garcia more than likely going to go to Miami? Absolutely. Do we know that for a fact? Could this have been the one thing that finally convinced him to go to Miami? It could be. And this is the problem that we are setting up with. I don't think, we talked about this on Wednesday, I don't think both Chuba and Tate stick around. So I think one of them is gone. I think Jordan Travis is 1 hit away from being completely knocked out. That man is he's been a walking MASH unit probably since the North Carolina game, Louisville game. He's basically been injured this entire time. I think that the negatives outweigh the positives more. Let's also not forget that McKenzie Milton has not played a football game in over 2 calendar years. And this is going to be the man who's going to lead us somewhere back into positive. To me, the negatives outweigh the positives. The positives are there, 100%, but the negatives outweigh them at this point. As we're filming this on December 13th, 2020, the negatives outweigh the positives.
If Jake Garcia doesn't come to Florida State, or if McKenzie Milton is the reason why he's picking Miami, knowing that the odds, if you were going to take the Vegas odds, it's leaning more to De'Aaron King returning than it is for De'Aaron King leaving, then McKenzie Milton just didn't want to come to Florida State. Because if De'Aaron King comes back, he knows he's not starting over De'Aaron King. He knows he's going to probably have to redshirt a year, and that's just not good. To me, you come in and you push. And I want you. If I'm a quarterback, well, one, even though he's a great friend of mine. I know he's much. We've only had one. We had very few California people in general be successful at Florida State, let alone quarterbacks. And most fans hate the one quarterback who came from California, even though he had pretty good success if you really go back and you look at it. California cats are weird. They're different. They're not Florida cats. They're not Southern people. They're different. So Miami is the closest thing to the West Coast, because Miami ain't the South. Miami is attached to the South, but it's a completely different environment. Everything south of Jupiter is weird, or weirder than the rest of the rest of the South.
I don't know
But
what you're talking about. We're country down here. What are you talking about?
I think Jake Garcia is a talent. I do believe they need to get a talented prep play caller to be able to come into this class, preferably enroll early. I don't think Chubba Purdy is it. I don't think Tate is it. I do believe Jordan Travis has some qualities that continue to need to be redeemed and that can be developed. I think a good spring and a good offseason would definitely help toward that. I don't see I see the energy not by the fan base, because fans are fans. Right now, our fan base gravitates to anything that is positive, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think I watch what recruits are saying and what other potential transfers are saying, and even what opt-outs are saying from Florida State. I think the most telling thing is what Tamara Terry retweeted when he saw the news. So even if you can potentially go and you can get guys that aren't bad athletes, they just were tired of the season, to come back and get a renewed hope, we can go back to what I was telling Mark about what my beliefs on locker rooms are. You have a good locker room culture that's coming in because it's competitive, not because they're all smiles and Hallmark cards and singing "We Shall Overcome." They actually believe that they have a chance. Mm-hmm. The reality is this: Notre Dame is a better program with better players at this juncture. You should go into every game trying to win. It's still a foreign concept to me to go into a game knowing that you're going to probably lose. I don't even know how you coach. I don't even know what a coach should tell you during the week. But if you make that game competitive, that's a victory. You're not beating Clemson even because Trevor's gone, but even with TJ coming back, you're not beating them. But not getting beat by 60 is a positive. Well, Florida State's got to show in the next 3 years, because I am with you on this. And this is what I need Florida State fans to understand about me. I personally think Mike Norvell can be a great coach. I think Mike Norvell got this job 3 years too early, and it was a great opportunity for him. You don't pass up on this opportunity because, to quote Willie Jerome Taggart, when he took the job, this job was set not open for 40 years. This isn't a job that comes open all the time. You take it when you get the opportunity. So I get where it came from, but he wasn't. But neither one of them were ready. But what Norvell is going to get the opportunity to do is to get some on-the-job training. But in this year right now, because of COVID helping our recruiting class, because of schools like budgets not letting them go over 85 scholarships, because other schools have made the Einstein decision to fire coaches the week before National Signing Day, it has really benefited in almost giving him a 0 year. I hate that 0 year term, but it's looking like he gets that. So if he goes out next year and you really truly go 8-5, I don't want 7, but if you go 7-6, depending on how it looks, you really do have an opportunity in your year 3 as Mike Norvell to go get the players that you need to really fit your system. Now, there are more things that I think they need to show from a coaching standpoint. McKenzie Milton is not some steroid shot to your program. You still got to be able to run plays that are better than 3 wide receivers in the same spot, or that whatever the hell is that play when our guy runs to the sideline and just throws it up in the air and the other team catches it. All 4 of our quarterbacks seem to run way too well. You still got to be competent, and you still got to have a defense that actually goes and stops people. But the excitement that guy comes in and brings right now, just from is an off-season win, and as a season that was as bad as it is, that's all you can hope for right now. You got to take your wins when you can get them shit, because we have had a season full of losing. That's why when people I wanted to complain about Duke, and I wanted to complain about Duke scoring 21 in a quarter and us scoring like 0. But at the end of the day, you got to take your wins when you can get them, because wins don't come easy for Florida State right now.
I'm sorry, before we get to Mark, I'm sorry. That's not who we are. And James, I get it. You have the most noble blood of any of us because you actually put on the
You're
uniform.
correct.
So I get that. And I want to tell us, I want to say this with all due respect. That's not the Florida State
You're
that
right.
we are. And that's not the Florida State we should be. We shouldn't be acting like Miami fans who were sitting there losing their mind when Derek King came in. And Derek King has been good for Miami. He's had his moments of greatness, but he's also had his moments where he's been exposed over the course of the season, such as getting your butt kicked 62-26 yesterday. Of course, Jacob doesn't care what it says. I'm the worst, the most annoying. I'm the most annoying. Aw, thank you, guys. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm the most annoying.
If you're gonna beat something, you got to be the best, though. You got to be the best.
Absolutely. If you want to do it right. So I will say this. We need to be better than that. Where we're sitting here praising the move of a guy based off of what he did 3 seasons ago. If he could sit back there, if we had the offensive line that we had in 2013, 2014, I would appreciate this move more because of the fact that he would actually have it. But seeing what our offensive line is right now and seeing how he is working with what he is. He's working with one healthy leg at this point. Why so negative, Jason? It's called speaking facts. He has one leg. We're sitting
We
here.
don't know this.
I'm sorry, Mark.
We don't know it. You might
I'm
be
calling
right,
Hop
but
along.
we might be right. We have no idea. Let the guy play. We have
Right.
no idea.
I'm
Why
calling
would you
Lieutenant
not
Dan.
bring in somebody with McKenzie Milton's
No idea. I know.
track record? Why would you not do that? It just doesn't make any sense. The guy's a winner. He was a tremendous player. Why would you not? If he gets hurt the first play of the first game, then he goes coaches. Basically, he's an assistant coach in the quarterback room. That's the very worst thing that can happen.
Oh,
I just don't get it.
Nobody's above nicknames and jokes with me. Nobody's above nicknames and jokes with me. He's going to be Lieutenant Dan and hop along, even if both his legs are strong. That happened, just like I tell people, like I was telling Florida fans, maybe they took the Marco stuff a little bit to it, but nobody's above memes. Nobody's above these memes. Because I got my jokes in too.
Real quick. Dude's not an FSU fan. No, I'm actually an FSU alum.
I hear what you're 100% right. The standard, I will always say the standard is the standard and the standard over everything. But when I'm looking at what the available quarterbacks are, and what I just believe we're not getting Jake Garcia. I never thought that was Luke Altmaier hurt. If we would have kept Luke Altmaier, I still want McKenzie Milton. Like, unless we have another guy that we're going to get, that we can bring in that's going to be an early enrollee, which happens. Coaches have aces up their sleeve all the time. I just don't see, and we have available scholarships. So, like, I don't see how that's – I get what you're saying. It is a stopgap thing, but it's not the end of the world. And even if we brought in Jake Garcia, this team, FSU as a team, is not an ACC championship team. That's me being realistic. Like nothing, and that me being realistic about what we have, and also being realistic about what that church has done in Clemson, South Carolina, and those 2 Bamas that Mark has on the show can tell you. Like those guys know what they got in Clemson. They have a machine right now.
Let me jump in, then I'll cut you guys loose. So we've got a ton of college football stuff going on tonight. I'm going to be back on here at midnight Eastern time. Gus Malzahn got fired. Lovie Smith got fired. We got a Big Ten schedule that's been completely reworked for this weekend. The Pac-12 the same. Who knows what else is going to happen in the next 4 or 5 hours, and more on McKenzie Milton. So I'll be back here live at midnight. I'm going to cut these guys loose. I'm going to go spend time with my family. You guys go nuts. Just nothing about basketball.
We beat Florida.
Let me get the two super chats here.
2 super chats.
Jason, 2 super chats. Ronan, thank you so much. We appreciate the contribution. As always, support Mark Rogers, not FSU. Keep up the great work, gentlemen. Keep making Jason look good. James and Logan. Then we've got nothing new. Thank you so much. Hi, Mark. What's the name of the kitty? I think that might be an answer for Logan.
It's Gilly. It's Gilly. Gilly the kitty.
All right. I'm going to let these guys go nuts on Florida State football. You guys break it down. And you guys know you're the best, and I always appreciate it. So we'll see you soon.
Before
See you,
you
Mark.
tag off on Bob, Mark. Before you tag off on Ronan, I ain't forgot about you. I'm still trying to get Leon to get me this stuff. I got a book for you too coming. He's got a book that he just wrote about his NFL experiences. I'm trying to get him to sign it, but if anybody knows Leon, seriously, he ain't the.
No.
He's kind of hard to get a. He's hard to get a hold of. Get some dudes. I'll see him. I'll see him tonight when I do my post Jaguar game stuff. So I'm gonna make sure I get that stuff for you, and hopefully you'll get it before Christmas. But I appreciate everything.
He used to do a show for us at my other station down here, and he was fun to get a hold of. But James, James, why do you have to be so negative? Okay, you're speaking the truth, but why do you have to be so negative? God, you're not a real FSU fan because you're being so negative. Why do you have to be so negative, James?
I'm a negative person in general.
You are.
I'm a negative loser. Put it like that.
So
I
that's
hate losing, and that's going to always be me. But I mean, but all right, forget about McKenzie.
James, before we get to you real quick, so I just want to know real quick. So fans can put in here, and I guess Logan will kind of, I don't know if he can access the quotes. What do idiot FSU fans want me to say? McKenzie Milton's going to be the greatest quarterback ever. This is the greatest move Florida State has ever made. We're no-blooded. We got robbed in our 6 losses this year. I don't understand what the idiots want me to say. The fact is, he has one leg. He literally has one working leg.
You're on.
I don't understand what the fans want me to say. He has the best arm in the room without a shadow of a doubt. It's not even.
Isn't that what a quarterback needs, or what? Don't they usually need an arm?
So he's going to stand. So let me ask you a question. He's going to stand there. What you trust that offensive line?
No, he's going to move. He was cleared to play.
7 yards.
He's cleared to play.
Put him back at 7 yards. Just drop him back 2 more yards. He'll be fine.
And 2017, your QBR leaders, Baker Mayfield, 2017 also, Will Grier, number 3 in the country, McKenzie Milton. And his first 3 seasons at UCF, McKenzie Milton threw for 8,683 yards and 72 touchdowns. Can anybody name the last quarterback that's done that at Florida State?
What would you say was the best defense he played? This is a legitimate question. In his 2 years in 2017 and 2018, what would you legitimately say was the defense? Best defense? Auburn?
Auburn and LSU.
He didn't play LSU because he got
He was hurt. Auburn. Yeah. Auburn would be the best defense. When he won the national championship.
He did win that game. He did win that game. Let's see.
That Auburn defense, legitimately, and I want Logan, because Logan's going to sit here and he's going to be his hype man. As soon as he arrives in the 850, Logan's already got the hype train going. Logan, legitimate question, all seriousness. Would you say that Auburn defense, James already said he's done. Would you legitimately say, Logan, that Auburn 2017 was a better defense than he will see against Notre Dame or Clemson during the 2021 season?
I'd rather have an experienced guy like that knows how to play than having Chuba Purdy out there or Jordan Travis, in my opinion. I mean, that'd be between Jordan Travis and Milton. And there probably will be those 2 quarterbacks out there. We'll probably see Jordan Travis and Milton out there.
Jordan Travis, who played against Notre Dame this past year and has experience against Notre Dame, correct?
Yeah, I would use him to my advantage, and McKenzie Milton, who can throw the ball, because obviously it seems like they want to limit Jordan Travis in throwing. I think they still should be throwing it deep with them when they can. It works. It worked last night twice, but I wish they would. But when you have a guy that's just smart and can read the defense as well and is good with film and has a smart brain, I would take it to my advantage whenever you start off the season next year against Notre Dame at home. I'm all about it.
Greatest quarterback since Jameis Winston. Greatest quarterback since Charlie Ward. Since Chris Winkie. Since Chris.
I don't know. I'll take Chris right now over all these guys. I mean, it's just my thing is this. If you don't take McKenzie Milton, and let's say you are a 50-50 Greg Carr pass in the end zone in his worksheets when people figured it out, chance of landing Jake Garcia, and you miss on him, you're left with Jordan Travis, Chuba Purdy, it's Tate. I don't want those options. I don't mind Jordan Travis being the starter. I'm not mad at Jordan Travis if he does beat out McKenzie Milton and is the starter.
That means that he's progressed really well.
I don't want Al Bundy back there throwing passes because people fell in love with his brother, who is a good quarterback in a terrible conference in the Big 12. It's not against that. Chuba Purdy is probably a phenomenal kid, and probably in year 3 or 4 could probably come out and be a good quarterback after he's learned how the college game moves, different things like that. But I kind of have a better idea of what McKenzie is. And that's the only reason. Unless you can guarantee me that you were getting Jay Garcia. And if you could guarantee me that you were getting Jay Garcia, there's no reason that you can't guarantee me that you would have got both of them. Because
I don't want to have Jay Garcia start his first game against Notre Dame.
Just remind me
what I'm
real
saying
quick.
is, Jake Garcia is willingly right now possibly going to the University of Miami, knowing that De'Aaron King is going to be there. So he knows that he's going into a competitive situation no matter what.
Just real quick, remind our viewers real quick what you called McKenzie Milton on Wednesday. What was the nickname you gave him?
He's Hopalong. Hopalong.
No, I think you called him
He
Lieutenant.
will always be Hopalong or Lieutenant Dan. Hopalong or Lieutenant Dan, even when he's healthy and even when he's scoring, because we're going to give him these nicknames even when they're great. Like, the nicknames are nicknames. You don't get to change your nickname.
So our savior has the nickname Lieutenant Dan. Got it.
We'll say, if we go back and look at the middle of the season when Jordan Travis was playing, since I guess that's going to be, he's going to save it all per Jason. Can we look at where defenses found out how to take care of that offense and watch some film and know how to restrict him from doing anything down the field?
Once again,
Florida State's offense couldn't do anything. They couldn't do anything. The running backs had to save the games because there was no passing threat. Florida State, they still don't have a really crazy passing threat. If you look last night, it was 75, 80, 85% running the ball or throwing Jordan Travis off to the side.
Listen,
there's no threat with Milton. You have a threat of a really good running back game that we saw last night and throwing the football.
I know that you're taking Mark's role of just being combative with everything I say. So I've been
positive on Milton though for a week and a half since we learned that he was most likely heading to Tallahassee.
You're filling Mark's role. I understand right now Mark's enjoying time with his family, so you have to take the combative, I hate everything about Jason Parker role. That's fine. I get it. I understand.
No, you decided to argue it though.
My question though, and I think McKenzie Milton honestly has.
I think you have a close connection with Jay Garcia.
I would rather have Jake Garcia be able to, if we're going to have Mike Norvell as our head coach, I'd rather have a quarterback who can come in and automatically learn the system and be able to build off what Mike Norvell is going to be as our quarterback, as opposed to a one-year lease. That's why I would rather have Jake Garcia as opposed to McKenzie Milton. I'd love to have both. Once again, I think McKenzie Milton has the best arm right now in that quarterback room. I will agree with that 100 times out of 100. I think McKenzie Milton right now enters spring ball, enters fall camp, and enters the opener against Notre Dame if we are able to turn things around and be able to have a 2021 season like normal. I think he enters that as the starting quarterback. My question.
Look what you did to James.
No, that's Mark. He's running back there. He's running producer role. He's doing it because he knows I want to talk to you. But you're sitting here twisting, saying all these negative things. I think McKenzie Milton has the best.
Negative thing. I'm not saying negative things.
Are you done?
That wasn't me.
Are you done?
That was you.
Are you done? What you're pointing to natural light cans here over here. I think he has the best arm in the room, but I don't think he has legs that can get him against Notre Dame. And here's the thing: if he gets knocked out in that first game, if he could, worst case scenario, are you done? Worst case scenario, he gets knocked out in that first game, first series against Notre Dame. Worst case scenario that I don't want to happen. Then what's the point? You lose him. You also lose any chance you have to get a Jake Garcia. So then you go 0 for 2. Worst case scenario with Jake Garcia, if he comes in and signs on early signing day next week, which is coming Wednesday. Worst case scenario is he flops years down the road. Worst case scenario with McKenzie Milton is not only do you lose McKenzie Milton, the 1-year lease, you potentially lose Jake Garcia for the next 3 to 4 years. That's my problem with this McKenzie Milton.
I will say, tough situation for Florida State to lose Luke Altmaier. Just a week later, they land McKenzie Milton, maybe even sooner than that.
So instead of getting
Norvell is able to find answers. You lose Anthony Grant, you lose Kane LeBourne, boom. You bring in Corbin, you bring in Webb. Quick answers from Mike Norvell. That's something that Florida State's lacked in the last 4 years, is finding answers quick and having plan B, C, D, and E. And that's something we heard from the press conferences with Dillingham and Norvell, that the one thing about Norvell is that he is always planning ahead. Luckily, this one worked out time-wise, where Milton was planning on leaving UCF. He wanted to stay in Florida, and he's able to beat out and get Milton to come to Tallahassee. He probably had tons of options across the country. He wanted to stay near Florida, intends on wanting to go to Florida State, and that's the case. I'm not even worried about Notre Dame. Florida State shouldn't win that game anyways, the first game of the season. I'm not really worried about Notre Dame. I just want to work on see Florida State win the games that they should. Florida State shouldn't win that game. If they end up winning that game, then Jason has to get a T-shirt of McKenzie Milton made, and he has to wear it every show for the remainder of the season. I'm not worried about Notre Dame. Florida State shouldn't win that game, but I don't think it should be all put on McKenzie Milton winning that all.
If McKenzie Milton is the starting quarterback against Notre Dame the first game next season, I will be in the stands, I will be cheering for him, and I will be hoping for him to be successful. Because I am to the idiots who think I hate Florida State so much here, once again, there's actually a degree from Florida State University College of Communication. So just show I'm a little bit. But I hate Florida State so much because I speak the truth. I will be rooting for McKenzie Milton. I just think that it is not the smartest move. I don't think it's a smart move for the variety of reasons that I've said. I'm not going to continue to repeat myself, but it is not a smart move.
I think it's an amazing move locker room wise over Jake Garcia. And if we're just talking locker room, from what I've heard personally on things about Jake Garcia, you don't want to have Jake Garcia in your locker room. And I'll just say it right now publicly. You don't want to have Jake Garcia in your locker room.
You have the inside information, right? You have the inside. I have the inside information, but you don't. See, Mark, this is the best part. Mark's going to sit here and come down on me, but he's not going to come down on you for your insider information about Jake Garcia. But one more thing you've said, and you said
how many high schools? You don't even have to even really have much insider information. How many high schools now has Jake Garcia had to go to?
Is it 2?
4.
4. Got it.
4 or 5, almost 5. Was it 5? I just don't. I can't. It's hard to count now. But did you want that to come to Tallahassee, where you're seeing people drop like flies, like Durden, Tamarion Terry, guys that really aren't fitting well in that locker room?
Terry dirt, but okay.
And then we're hearing that the practices are better and they're more focused in.
What's our record right now? We're 3-6, right? We're 3-6, correct?
You should want to have Jake Garcia go to Miami to
3-6.
Explode that locker room. That's what you should want. You should want that.
We're 3-6 right now, right?
Yeah.
We went from a 6-6 record last regular season to 3-6, right?
We're not even going to talk about this whole year, this whole season. We're not going that route. We're still on McKenzie Milton over Jay Garcia.
No, I'm just saying, because Mike Norvell has been able to transition so well. Like you said, you gave him credit. He was able to transition so well to a 3-6 record. Losses to Georgia Tech, Pitt, Louisville, NC State, a blowout loss to Miami, a 16-point loss.
We're not going back to that. We're talking about next season. I thought you wanted to talk about Notre Dame so quickly.
I'm saying that right now.
You don't want a guy that's thrown 72 touchdowns in 3 seasons?
Against who?
Great There's good competition. Half of those teams would actually beat Florida State right now, if not more.
Name them. Name the good competition that he threw against.
In their conference, they could. They would compete with Florida State any day of the week right now. Who
is in their conference?
Tons.
Can you name another team in the American Athletic Conference?
Memphis. They'd beat Florida State right now by 3 touchdowns.
Can you name another team?
Cincy.
Congratulations. You've named 2 teams in the American Athletic Conference.
See, it's just easy peasy. And beat that SEC team Auburn in a big-time bowl game.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Auburn team that lost to Georgia, right? In the SEC.
Cincinnati, Memphis would beat Florida State right now.
Well, did you really Google? Did you really Google the American?
Look, my hand has been on my wrist this whole time.
Okay.
This is too easy of an argument for me. This is a great get for Florida State, and Florida State fans should be happy.
The potential is there for it to be a great move. I will admit that 100%. He has the arm for this to be a great move. I will 150% right now, Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, agree that the potential is there. Sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
Barack Obama bobblehead disagrees.
There.
But he has the legs. Does he have the legs to match that arm? No. Would you admit right now that you're telling me right now that you have no worry about his strength and mobility of his legs right now?
Yeah, no, I'm worried about his leg that he injured, yes. But I'll be honest, after I tore my ACL, and they say it all the time, the leg that you injure ends up being the strongest after rehab, and that is the case. Usually that is – I mean, I was going to ask James that, but after you injure one of your legs, that ends up in the end of it all being one of your strongest legs. So that's why – yeah, it was a more severe injury than an ACL tear. But if I'm looking at what's his name, who's playing for the friggin' Redskins, Alex Smith, dude should have had his leg amputated, and he's playing in the NFL right now. Who's 10 year? How much older isn't he? Like 8 years older.
First of all, it's Washington's football team, number one.
Oh yeah.
Number two, I believe Alex Smith is about 36, so he's about 10 to 13 years
10 years older. Yeah, 10 years older. Okay, 10 years older. And so now McKenzie Milton's 10 years younger. The health and recovery should be quicker since he's younger.
Did you not game day where it talks about the fact over a year after the injury? I believe it was 18 months after the injury, he had to go back and have more emergency surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not miss that?
Yeah, and then he was cleared 3 weeks ago to play.
Were you drinking during
that 3 weeks ago when he was cleared to play for a football game, and he was killing it in scrimmages all this whole fall? Is that what it was?
Killing it for the Boca Raton Bowl bound UCF Golden Knights. You're right. Killing it.
And shout out to Willie Taggart, too. Your boy Willie Taggart against the 2-6. What were they? 2-6 Mizzou team. Great game there. On a good trend, too. They're heading in the right direction there. It's funny how that works.
Georgia played Missouri.
Who was it? Oh, Southern Miss. My bad. Crap. My bad. Even worse team. My bad. I'm an idiot. That was my bad. Southern Miss. Tough game for.
Hold on. I'm going to go
Owls.
real quick. FAU 2020.
Oh, they're going to record prediction off of a
record
awful conference this year.
All right, I'm just going to take care of this real quick. Oh, he's 5-3. So he has three more wins, 3 less losses.
And
more wins and 3 less losses.
In a conference, a baby division, we call them, not the ACC.
5-3. It's a winning record. You're muted. Once again, this is the greatest. Logan is muted.
Not muted. Not at all.
We can't hear you, Logan. We really can't.
You're lying.
What Logan's saying right now is, Jason, you're right. Everything I've said is wrong during this time. Jason, your wisdom, your energy as a Florida State hater. Right?
I don't think they can hear you.
Idiots here want to say.
I don't think they can hear you.
I feel like Logan is saying we should go here. And we'll see you next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, where we'll talk about National Signing Day, including Jake Garcia probably going to the University of Miami now. And we can talk more about McKenzie Milton. With everyone's favorite big game James Coleman. We still can't hear you, Logan. Keep talking.
Oh, yeah, you can hear me, you liar. It's coming through. He's such a liar.
So anyway, that's where we're going to conclude it here.
Time you liar.
On Wednesday with Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. He'll tell me how wrong I am in his opinion. Logan will sit there and be a flavor of the week guy. James Coleman will actually back me up. He'll give some insight that you guys will say, James, you're right, but it's the same insight I'll give. You'll say, Jason, it's wrong. That's how it's going to go this coming Wednesday as we talk about National Signing Day and Florida State's possible game. Does Florida State play Wake Forest? Give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, Logan. Does Florida State play Wake Forest this week?
Last 3 seasons at UCF. Florida State quarterback McKenzie Milton.
Logan, we're talking
8,683 yards and 72 touchdowns.
Yes or no?
Which would be the second most in Florida State history.
Play Wake Forest. Yes or no this week?
Yes, and I know they can hear me.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I know they can hear me. That was a rude comment down here at the bottom. This is a rude note from Kyle.
We're going to play with his cat. James is going to play with his kids.
Jason can hear me too. Jason can hear me.
TV, the voice call.
Jason can hear me. Yes. I don't know how you're going to end it. I might just stay on here and say Jason faked the muting there. Can you hear me, Jason? McKenzie Milton's a null. Jason, put a thumbs up if you like it. Don't put up anything if you like it. If you don't like it, don't put up anything. It's good. Oh no, they can hear me. I can see the levels coming through. They can hear me. Yeah, exactly. Stop calling me. All right, I'm out. Jason's calling me. Move, Gilly. Ow. This is gonna be the last to leave. You can hear me. I know you can. Yeah. Anyways, guys, let's talk about McKenzie Milton. Threw 72 touchdowns, 8,683 yards in his 3 years. I believe rushed for 17 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards rushing during his time at UCF. That is your new quarterback at Florida State.
We can hear you now. So.
He muted me. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to previewing Wake Forest. It's pretty funny, though, when you think about McKenzie Milton, too. What does that do to recruiting those Auburn people? Lee Hunter now, 5-star defensive tackle. What does that do? Whoa, Kenny Dillingham was at Auburn? And now Gus Malzahn's fired. I wonder what that might do. There might be some guys in the mix for Florida State now. Definitely when you got a quarterback that gets the ball to you.
I know you're probably drunk right now. So, hold on here. This is from 24/7 Sports. Kenny Dillingham shows interest in Arizona job.
Not happening, and you know that. Don't you please tell me you know that's not happening. Stop. There's numerous other names before Kenny Dillingham. Stop it.
From Arizona, he coached high school in Arizona for 7 years. He actually coached with Mike Norvell at State.
Not happening.
Not your inside sources have this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your inside sources got it.
Not happening. I mean, no, that's not even inside source. That's just common sense. That's just not happening. He's 5th, 6th, 7th in line.
Not happening.
Well, there we go. Let's keep an eye on recruiting. Things are going to start getting a little bit more interesting.
Florida State is going to be the 2021 national title favorite because of this move.
No one's looking to win a national championship next year. You get a good if you get 8 wins next season, recruiting jumps up a ton. That's why you're working on 2022, 2023. That's the plan, and that's the plan, Stan. And Gilly agrees.
Greatest move ever.
Who said that? I think you're making up people in your mind. You must be following crazy people on Twitter.
It's the greatest move ever. Listen to what you've said, what Mark has said.
I've never said it's the greatest move ever.
2017 and 2018, it's the greatest move ever.
Well, now we need to end it off. That was our instant reaction to Florida State landing quarterback McKenzie Milton, former national champion. Jason.
More importantly, folks, shout out to NBC for putting the Steelers on again. It's kind of like a Make-A-Wish Foundation event. We're giving the Steelers more national coverage on NBC. Steelers, Bills, Sunday Night Football. Hopefully the Bills do their thing and give you guys your second.
I know everybody be watching. Go Steelers, baby. Let's get it. Time to wake up. Time to bounce back. If the Steelers win tonight, I'm going to become extremely toxic.
If the Steelers lose tonight, are you prepared for what's going to be worse?
We've already made the playoffs.
But I'm asking, what's worse for you if the Steelers win or lose? Are you going to be more of a jerk if the Steelers win or if they lose?
Win.
Really?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You're not like the Miami fans.
I'm going to be extremely cocky.
You're not like the Miami fans down here who've been losing their mind about what happened yesterday.
Yeah, we're all very quiet in here tonight. Extreme. This is the most quiet we haven't really heard from Miami fans. They really haven't said much. It was cute thinking that they were going to do something this year. They won't do anything next year either. They're going to drop a lot. It's going to drop like flies. Meanwhile, our other friends at Florida really are showing their true colors. If Dan Mullen isn't there much longer, if he goes elsewhere or whatever's going on, if he leaves, then that's going to go back to being a 5-6 win team because their culture is about. It might be worse than Florida State's locker room
Alex Smith leaving the field with medical staff or just before the end of the first half with a leg injury. Got it.
Oh, no. No offensive line.
Which FSU doesn't have. Moving on. So we'll see. We'll talk National Signing Day. We'll talk Jake Garcia's commitment to Miami. We'll talk about Florida State's game against Wake Forest. I don't think we played, but who knows? So we'll see you this Wednesday on Mark Rogers TV.
Looking forward to it, Jason. McKenzie Milton's biggest fan.